Oh, I'm live. Hi, you guys. It's Dara, and I am home, and I haven't been here in a while. My intuition said be quiet for a while, and so I did. Be quiet. Hi. And let's see, after I finished my courses, I did the astrogeography course and I worked really hard on the North Nodes videos. And then after that, I did part 2, where I was pretty much writing a book on what it means, what the North Node means, and what it means to have your North Node fall into a particular house. So I worked really hard and I just felt like unplugging. So before all this craziness started, I just did an unplug from like everything. And I stayed home for about a week just by myself, coloring, drawing, painting. And then I realized, oh my gosh, people are going to have to stay home. And so I got some things for my house, and I have a list of things that I have that it's hot in here now. I just went outside. So I got I have a list of things, and when I looked at the list, I laughed. I'm like, this is what I keep in my house anyway. I just kind of tripled up. Hi, Gary, I'm back. I even feel like making food videos because over the past 2 weeks that I've been kind of home and laying low, it's like a gift to myself. It's a luxury and a privilege to enjoy our homes. I have been making my own food. I've been in the kitchen making every meal, a green smoothie every morning, a tonic every morning. Last night I made dal. So I'm going to make some food videos, but for now I'm going to give you a list. And I'm laughing because I feel like I'm a prepper in a way, naturally. Like I always keep beans and nuts and seeds and oats in case I want to make oat milk. And I've always had jars of things. Wheat berries, that's a great one to sprout into wheatgrass. Having sprouts, that's a really good one. I'm going to order some more sprouts. Mung beans are great, alfalfa sprouts. That's a way to get protein and chlorophyll when you can't get greens at the market. I also got some bags of dehydrated spinach flakes. You can get dehydrated organic vegetables so you can add to soups. It's important to have green powder. What were you wondering? Let's see. Oops. How we're supposed to stock up for possible quarantine while keeping a raw food diet. Yes, I'm going to be talking about it, and it may not be raw, but it will be healthy. So if you need to eat rice and beans, if you need to have things that you wouldn't normally eat, as long as they're plant-based, as long as they're organic, I think dehydrated, definitely chickpeas, any kind of beans, sprouts, so you can sprout. That's excellent. Dehydrated spinach. And then my list is chia seeds, omega-3 fatty acids, protein. They fill you up. They give you energy. Green powder of any kind, spirulina. I love Vitamineral greens. I love green vibrance is a great one. Spices so that you can spice up the beans and rice and dehydrated vegetables. I wrote something I can't read. I did get some canned tomatoes, which I don't really have canned food ever, but I thought it might be nice when I'm making a dal or making something to add some tomatoes. I have nutritional yeast. Nuts and seeds are so good for so many reasons. You can make nut milk, you can make a nut butter, you can get protein, you can get tahini and nut butters. I keep oats in the house because I make oat milk. I have an almond cow, and it makes making oat and nut milk. I make a nut milk with soaked almonds that I get from sunorganicfarm.com. They're my favorite. That's where I get my nuts and seeds from. And then I'll put a little bit of oats, a little bit of almonds, date, maybe a date or two, some salt, and then I just press the button. I do 2 rounds. I press it twice so it's creamier, and then you can use the nut pulp for I have a recipe up here on YouTube where I made, I think, donut holes. You can make things or eat the leftover pulp as a porridge. So that's really excellent. The almond cow nut milk maker. I have dried fruit. I got dried persimmons, dried cranberries, definitely water. So I normally have Mountain Valley water delivered, and because I had 2 Airbnbs downstairs, I have lots of bottles of water. And I like to have vitamin D. I think it's important for everyone, and B12. So those are two good supplements. And oregano oil is excellent if you are having, feeling like you want to boost your immune system. So how I feel about this, hi, I'm happy to see you live too. So how I feel about this virus or any virus is that there's germs all over the world at all times. And if our immune system is healthy, we're not going to get it. So one of the best ways that I know to boost my immune system is to rest and be alone, to have no stress, to identify your stressors and remove them. Because you could eat the healthiest diet in the world and do all your prepping, but if you are stressed out, you could get sick. So while it's understandable to be concerned, the best way to combat it is to be prepared with all of these things. I also keep in the house coconut, and I'm going to put this list below. Coconut yogurt, and I am a huge fan of coconut cult yogurt if you can get it, and probiotics to keep your gut healthy, and sauerkrauts. I fell in love with a small sauerkraut or kraut family called Small Town Cultures. They're on the East Coast, and they're kimchi and sauerkraut and fermented applesauce, and their hot habanero sauce is my favorite I've ever had on the planet. So I would order a big box from them. I always have Sunfood olives, dried botilla olives in the house. And then I went ahead and I ordered from Vegan Mario some loaves of his gluten-free bread and some of his bagels so I could slice it and keep it in the freezer. So I have frozen food, not a lot of canned food, a lot of dried food, and I feel like I could feed myself for a long time. Chickpea flour is amazing if you're baking things. You can use chickpea flour with spices and make falafel. You can make a pate. You can make a raw pate, or you can bake chickpea balls. So I would Google, if you have a plethora of something, Google the different things that you can do with it. I don't use chickpea flour a lot. I'm not a big baker, but I certainly imagine you can make like crepes, quote unquote crepes. I can look that up for you. I am going to be making food in my kitchen. I have realized that I was running out to Air One, or I didn't make all my food. I make a lot of my food, but not all my food lately. And over the past 2 weeks, of making my own food and having my super green smoothies in the morning and my tonics, I noticed my skin is better and my eyes are brighter. And it's like eating my own love for 2 weeks. And it really worked. Like, I was really tired and really run down, and I had some stress, and that's why I unplugged. And then this whole thing happened, and I was like, perfect. This gives me an opportunity to slow down and not be distracted all over the place with running to see this person or doing that or running out to shop for something I don't need. And I am home. So I want to get to the part with, why do I love being home? When I am by myself, when I am home, I feel at peace. I feel that creativity comes to me. I am allowing myself to draw. You can come follow me over at the Doobie Universe. I started drawing my Doobie characters, which I first birthed in 1998, and my mother was so passionate about them that I started drawing them again a number of months ago, and I just can't stop. So I'm allowing myself creativity. So I have, I should probably show you, but I have markers on my table, colored pens, paper up here, paper and coloring and watercolors in my studio. So you can use this opportunity to make your home feel better. Get beeswax candles, make your bed, make sure everything's clean, clean out your closets. And the reason, yes, people are going crazy buying everything. That's the reason you need to buy everything, so that you have it, so that when you need something, you're not out of it. But the things that are healthy, and it's really funny, because I ran Airbnbs downstairs, I was ordering toilet paper from either Bin Bamboo, or I have a monthly subscription to Who Gives a Crap. So there's boxes of toilet paper here. And thank you, Sutton, for loving my creativity and my artwork. Like, I'm really giving myself the gift of slowing down and enjoying the senses. So for those of you who do understand the nodes, you'll know me by my Taurus North node. And that means that I love like fabrics and puffy Moroccan poofs that I'm sitting on, poofs, and my home feels warm and cozy and clean, and there's a lot of love here. So at this time, the best medicine is to soothe yourself, is to do anything, sorry, that is soothing to you. So it could be clean sheets and a fluffy bed. It could be making a chai and having it on the stove and having your home smell good. I have aromatherapy going at all times. So the lighting just got really weird. So weird. I got like orange. So do the things like little things like water your plants, wipe the leaves, wipe the doorknobs. Like, it's almost like as if you're just giving a nod to that, to I'm taking care of myself. And somehow it's self-soothing when we do this. So let me see if I should have had my computer so I could see the comments without going up close. It's against the law to hoard food. Well, I don't think I'm hoarding. I have a couple bags of rice and a couple bags of beans. It's not like a big prepper house, but it's enough. And I like to have those things in the house anyway. What I have now isn't much different than what I have normally. Only, oh, okay. I was like, I'm not hoarding. I'm just like making sure that I can get my greens on. So I think that's really important at any time. It's what I would do for travel. So I'm actually... Yeah, the people going insane, I think they're causing themselves some serious stress. You can keep it really, really simple. Know that you can feed yourselves and your family. How, in my opinion, how long do I think it will last? That is very hard to say. You know, when the media gets a hold of things and it can be like a big snowball that's just gathering, or it's just gathering and gathering, and there's like a frenzy. It's kind of like, it reminds me when there were hurricanes in Florida. Like, they want you to watch the news, they make it exciting every day. There's a little bit of that. Yes, there's a virus. Yes, you know, we have to be careful, but it's also like, it doesn't really do any good to panic, or like stay check the news once a day, but don't stay plugged into the fear. Yeah, I definitely think it's so super smart to wash your hands, to be practice social distancing, as they call it, but the healthiest thing you can do is boost your own immune system with the probiotics, with lots of greens, with lots of rest, with lots of love, with laughter. Find some humor. You guys are all communicating and sharing knowledge, which is great. You know, I don't use paper towels really. I've always used dish towels, and they're my rags, and I use rags. You know, I mean, there are people who've gone no waste and they don't use toilet paper. So, I mean, no one's gonna die if you don't have toilet paper. You know what? I was given a water purifier, but I don't know how to use it yet. So I'm gonna have to watch a YouTube video. I'm happy to see you too, sassy little Frassy. I think it's time for us to commune in love. So I'm going to start making the videos again. And I'm not working so hard on my courses. They're done, they're complete, they're up for everyone to enjoy. And now I can do what I do, which is make food and make beauty and make things more beautiful. And share good energy. Use rubbing alcohol and aloe vera gel is that for hand sanitizer? I'm trying to see if there were any other questions. It has me being able to organize and be creative by playing the guitar. See, that's perfect. Organize your cupboards. It feels so good to organize and condense. Like I put all my flax crackers in one. I'll do a little tour of my kitchen. Not right now, but there'll be videos coming up. You can kind of low-key quarantine yourself and have conversations with people via Zoom, via FaceTime. Call. I had 2 beautiful conversations today, and it was great to connect. So we can still stay connected, but we can also be quiet, I would say. So what were any of the other questions? I don't know. Ask the question again if you have one, so I don't have to scroll back. Peaceful colors on the background. Consult your nearest introvert. Did you see my story on Instagram? I was like, this is an introvert's paradise. Like, no social demands, nobody, like usually people want to see me. They're in town. Dara, can you meet me? I want to come over. And there's not really any of that. And so it's just like, introverts, the definition of an introvert really from the old Myers-Briggs test, it was Kiersey Bates. It was that old, and I probably should retake it again. I haven't taken it since I was 20 something, but I'm an INFP. And an introvert versus an extrovert is an extrovert gets energy by being with other people, and an introvert does not. An introvert needs to recoup their energy after being with people. So I think that I just needed a couple weeks to get totally unplugged, and I feel recharged. And so what I want to do is share why it's so good to spend time with ourselves, why it's so good to enjoy the simple, beautiful pleasures of life, which is my Taurus North Node. And I am recommending that you guys go to daradubonnet.com and see what your North Node is. That's part 1. And then part 2, and I show you how to find it, what house your North Node lives in. Your North Node is your spiritual shining star. So anytime there's any worry or something gets stressful, I do some Taurus North Node things to get me activated in my soul's evolution, because our North Node represents our spiritual shining star and what makes our soul totally happy. So Taurian things, Venusian things, beautiful fabrics, beautiful food, nature. I take a walk outside, and you'll see in my stories on Instagram, the flowers just sing to me. And when I see them, it makes my soul happy. And then I share it, and then it makes you happy. So when we do our North Node things, we are inspiring others to do a little bit of that as well. Oh, you live in Norway and everyone is panicking. You make your own probiotic yogurt. See, we can get back to our roots and make our own krauts and make our own yogurts and make our celery juices. I would say for me, echinacea is good. Colloidal silver, oregano is like a germ buster, as is the capsaicin from any red pepper. Ginger, turmeric, astragalus. I get mine from Jing Herbs. You can get a Dara discount. I want to write that down because I want to put that in my list. Astragalus. Chaga mushroom is very healing. So do the things, you know, oregano oil is tough to take, but it's like such a germ buster. I had something from Air One that was it's literally called Germ Warfare, and it had garlic, oregano, turmeric. It was so strong that I had to have a little scoop of honey after, but it's so good. You think toilet paper is being hoarded for fear of none being available in the situation of supplies not getting through. Yeah, so people do not have any idea how they would live without it, but I know you can probably live without it and figure it out. It's funny, before this all happened, it was on a Sunday and nobody was freaking out, and I just felt this incredible urge to clean out my closets and to put all the clothes that I'm going to sell or give away in bags. And then I was just like obsessed, and I had so much energy to do it. And then the next day I just rested. And so it's a perfect opportunity to go through your cupboards, make sure all the spices are fresh, give everything a little bit of love. When we do that, when we care for our things, we're giving ourselves love, because everything around us speaks to us. So maybe a drape is dirty, or there's some, I'm looking at one of mine that needs to come off. Some water got on it, so there's a water stain. Maybe my crystals need to be rinsed off. Maybe I'm going to sweep underneath the sofa. And so you're giving your things love, and then you're giving yourself love, and then you're making food, and you make it with love. And so you're eating love. I literally feel like I've eaten my own love for 2 weeks, and it feels so good. It's very grounding. And it's also a great opportunity to see what we were being so distracted with, right? Like when you really boil it down, what do you really need? I know that I need good food. I know that I need healthy, organic food. And I know that I need my art supplies. What a node is, the North Node is an astrological term. It is, the nodes are not planets, they're mathematical points, but they are magic. The North Node just speaks to your soul. It's the reason you came in to this lifetime. It's the reason and roadmap to success. It is the most important, I think. Everything's important in astrology, and everything has clues, and it's this beautiful, like romantic language, but the end and the North Node I have found to be the ultimate guide. So you can find out what your North Node is on my website. I have a chart. So you don't have a home, Gary. Are you in a van? Are you in a, I've been looking into camper vans. I find them fascinating. The conversions they do, and people can sleep in the vans and have their food. I think it's just such a beautiful way to be out in nature and see the world, to have your own supplies, to have nobody else's germs. I was thinking about doing it just because I love to go places. I love to be in nature. I don't love to stay in motels or hotels. And I don't love when people have pets that have been in the Airbnb because I'm allergic. So Gary, you're in your car. We're sending you so much love. At least there's a roof and a comfy seat. And I hope you're safe. And I am sending you so much love. It's late in the UK. I also did a deep clean on Sunday. It felt so good after. Totally. Brazil and good. Hi in Brazil, Victor. So I think that Brazil is low on the coronavirus, and so is Mexico. Colloidal silver, it comes in a tincture. I think it's like nanoparticles of actual silver, but don't quote me on that. I don't know the makeup of it. I just know that it's good. If someone were feeling like they were about to get sick, they're supposed to take colloidal silver. I'm in Venice, California. I don't know how many cases. It's Los Angeles. I'm not tapped into the news all day, every day. I just know that people are worried. And, people who aren't normally worried about these things are worried. Or they're just saying, okay, I'm going to stay home and I'm going to be home and I'm not going to go out. Like, I'm not somebody who has to go out to lunches and dinners. That's just not my thing. I don't have to see people all the time. In fact, it's 100% luxury for me to just be by myself in space and peace. And then once I'm rested, I do want to see people, but it's okay for me. Definitely an introvert's kind of thing. So what I suggest for the extroverts, when you feel like you really should be staying home and not just going out to, if it's true love and true heart-based connection, go. But if it's just to go out just to not be by yourself, then really consider, why do you have to keep running? Why and what is it that you're trying to gain, and to give it to yourself, self-soothe. There's so many things. Colloidal silver is good for infections. Last night I was making dal, and I was so excited because before all this craziness happened, we went to this Indian store called India Sweets and Spices, and it's family run, and they have a little you could get hot lunch there. The mom makes it, and they have all these products, and they do have organic things there. So I went shopping for beans and rice, and I remembered I had to toss all my spices from India because I went there on my 48th birthday, and now I am 53, and so the spices were sadly old. And I replenished my asafoetida. It's called hing, H-I-N-G is another name for it. And I love the flavor. It smooths out. I put a little bit in a saucepan I put coconut oil. You can use ghee if you use ghee, but I use coconut oil, and then I put in some mustard seeds and I start to pop, and some cumin, and then I put in chopped onions, chopped ginger, chopped turmeric, chopped garlic, and then you put in this stuff called hing and use the littlest bit. It's kind of sulfury, and it just rounds out the flavor. But I also found out that it's not only anti-inflammatory, it's I don't like this word, but flatulence. It's anti-gas making. And so it's an Ayurvedic spice that helps reduce gas. So if you're eating cruciferous vegetables like broccoli, you might want to add a little bit of this asafoetida, and it just tastes so, so, so good. Not so much of it, a titch. So I'll be making that, and I will share how I do it. I do my own modified version. I do put a little lemon juice. So you saute all of those beautiful things that I just said. And then on the other stove, on the other burner, I have split hulled mung beans. So they cook really quickly and you don't have to soak them. And I made like a dal. So I cooked the beans and then I made the sauteed thing, and then you mix it all together and you have this beautiful thing that you can eat when you want. 800. You're using what as a kind of cure? Oh, they're saying the numbers, and yeah, maybe they're not accurate. You're in the UK. The schools aren't shut. The schools are shutting here, but I'm not really up on exactly what's happening out in the world. I'm managing what's happening in my world. I'm having a lot of peace here, a lot of love, a lot of good connections on the telephone, a lot of artwork, coloring, drawing. Happy. Maybe I put on the Gilmore Girls in the background while I'm drawing. I make beautiful food. The best thing we can do is take care of our mental health. That's the big thing. So whatever makes you feel gratitude is the thing. Oh, the Indian store for my asafoetida. Indian store for your astrogeo. Oh my gosh, sassy little frassy. I thought about that and I forgot to mention it. So get this, you guys. Wow, you're so good and so tuned in. Okay, so this is amazing. Oh, thank you. I'm a movie star. Get this, you guys. Okay, this is really exciting. So why I didn't make a lot of videos this year is I was doing guidance sessions for people, helping them with their direction, where to be and what to do, where to be via astrogeography, what lines are where, what line are you living on? You could eat all the best food in the world, but if you're living on a really hard and challenging astrogeography line, you at least need to know about it so that you can deal with it and navigate. So I made an astrogeography course so anybody can know what it means to live on a Jupiter line. What does it mean to live on Jupiter descending? What does it mean to live on a Pluto line? So then, while I was doing the sessions, I discovered the nodes and I was like, people need to know about this. So I made the videos, then I made the PDFs for the house placement. And I didn't make videos here because I was so busy. I was doing sessions, I was making courses. But here's the thing, with astrogeography, I'm living on one of my best places in the planet. The only other very best place in the whole world for me is India. And when I went to, this is how you can use astrogeography. So let's say you're living on a Pluto line or a Saturn line or something that's hard, but you know India holds magic for you. Maybe it has Venus, like I have Venus there, and I have to look again. I have Venus and something else that's really good. And so when I went to India, I felt so loved. I literally was picked up. I had followers, like YouTube followers, Facebook friends who met me in India. They found out I was there and drove me around for 10 days and we had a blast. So guess what, sassy little frassy, so good on you. When I went to the India Sweets and Spices store, they were like family. The family who owns the store was like, hey, do you want to try some chai? Here, have a hot cup of chai. And when I went to buy the hot lunch to eat, and I said, but I'm going to go shopping out. I went to pay, and I said, I'm going to go shopping after. And she said, don't worry, just pay after. And it was just so homey and so warm and so loving. And I thought, oh my gosh, this is triggering the Venus energy just by being at this Indian store. So if you live on a challenging line, what I say to people is that we can't be in more than one place at once. We have to be somewhere, and maybe we want the energy that's not available to us where we are, but we can harness it. I call the word harness, or tap in, or imagine, or bring in, or know that that energy exists for us, and get it through food that we eat, through clothing that we wear. Maybe I'd wear an Indian sari or an Indian scarf, which, funnily enough, my mom and I were obsessed. Every year we would go to the Indian section in New Jersey and buy Indian clothes, which we never really wore. We just loved them. So yes, I felt the Venus energy, and when I make Indian food, I feel that energy again. So well done. So my whole life's work of this past year was teaching you guys, I have a course to know your astrogeography, so you can look up at any moment. Maybe you need a little sun energy. Maybe you feel like you're hidden and you need people to know about your work. You're going to want the sun line. So you can look and find out where the sun line is. You can go there, you can move there, or you can just like play music from that area. And then your north node, everybody has to know their north node. I think everybody needs to know their astrogeography and their north node. India has very hot peppers. Well, you know a lot about peppers. That's amazing. So if you think about Indian food, in order to kill parasites and germs, their whole spices are magic. They're just like, they're magic because they do what needs to be done to keep you healthy. So to me, it's like medicine. I know, Victor, the corona will destroy the economy of countries. That's what I'm sad about. That is sad. We are very fortunate to have the ability to connect with loved ones across town and around the globe online during this time of questions, fears, shutdowns. 100%. Like, it's really going to change everything. It's going to change the economy. It already has. It's going to change the way people work. Everyone in Silicon Valley is working from home. Immediately I thought, oh my gosh, what about the cafes that rely on the business? And then I found they got a stipend to stay in business because all the workers are working from home. And it's going to give people, I think in the future, the ability to work from home and to be more efficient with their work, because just like schools, like when you go to school, half the day is wasted just by shuffling to and from class, or like the teachers trying to get the kids to be quiet. Like the amount of learning can be so much more condensed. So I think things will be bad economically, but in the end, people will be happier. That's what I feel. What's my thoughts on crystals? 100% crystals. Crystals bring in beautiful energy. Crystals and flowers and beeswax candles. Chaga is so good. Chaga is so healing and transformational. You can get ground up chaga and brew and use it as a base for a soup or base for a tonic, or just drink it plain. It's so very, very good. I used to buy from this man who had a company called Fiddlehead in Canada. Very good value, and I really liked it. Okay, Desert Doug, you can go away. I can't block you right now because I'm just not in the mood to do that. But if you don't want to be here, you don't have to. It's I started this YouTube channel, and I said, I saw a lot of people getting trolls or not nice comments. And my intention for this channel is that this is a sandbox, and nice children get to play in the sandbox. And if not, they just don't get to be here. So what are your thoughts? Oh, I love elderberry. I love elderberry. Where did I have elderberry syrup? I know, the Woolbright Farmers Market in Florida, family-run business, and they make a beautiful elderberry syrup. So if you have the opportunity to have elderberries, 100%. Thank you for reminding me. Yeah, if I had someone who could do that for me right now, I would. I just don't have my computer, so I would just kind of, but we're good. Have you ever microdosed psilocybin? I have not, but who knows? They're berries that got old, elderberries? Oh, that's funny. Yeah, I'm interested in this whole microdosing thing. You roast your own coffee. That's so beautiful. Anything you can do that makes you feel like back to your roots, back to connection with the food, connection with nature. Yeah, the rain was so nice. It was raining here for days. It worked for you. How did it make you feel, the psilocybin? Integrative Therapeutics elderberry. Maybe that can go in the comments, because I didn't know where you could get it from. So I would love to get some elderberry. I have so many potions and things. I'm going to do a kitchen video next. And I will show you. I have rose water. I have Now Alchemy tinctures, which I love. His CBD is the very, very, very best. You can get a DARA discount. Ormus. Any of these things to lift us are a good idea at this point. Anything that makes you feel good, any movie that makes you feel good. We need less fear, more love. So, yeah, I love Now Alchemy. It's legit. So big hugs, everybody. I think that I'm going to show you right now, actually. Let's take a look at my... Do you ever brew kombucha? You know, I have never. I've done a lot of things. I have never. Something about the mother and the, I don't know. Love is so good. So we're going to be sharing love here, Gary. That's what we share here in our cute sandbox. We get nice children. So I'm going to show you. I'm going to try microdosing. So we have everything's comfy and cozy. And the lights are, it's a little dark. It's a little messy because I just got some groceries, but oh, I'm a big fan of Go Raw. I'm a big fan of Coconut Cult, small town cultures. I love Go Raw seeds. We've got flowers. I've got supplements from Dr. Sadeghi. This is where I sit and I do my drawing. I've been doing a lot of these little doobies. These are little sprout. This is the Doobie Universe on Instagram. So we'll do some more little tour stuff. I cleaned out my drawer today. So, and it's always a good idea to have cacao in the house, cacao nibs. So what are we gonna say here? I think I'm gonna hang up soon. Coconut water sounds like a lovely idea. So who's ready for me to be back in the kitchen making food? Will that be fun? So who wants to know how I make my doll? We're in the kitchen. So homey and filled with love. That's what I want to share. It always has been just like that. Thank you for noticing. And I thought yesterday, I was like, I think I need to make some YouTube videos because I am having so much joy and so much love in my house that I want to share it, and I want to have our old hangouts like we did. And now we can. So I'm sending you some flower love. Oh, one other thing I want to share, because the flowers are coming up, and Alexis from Alexis Smart Flower Remedies. Look up Alexis Smart. I have a tincture. I did a session with her. She figured out what flower essences I need. There's also a friend of mine, Sal, Floral Unity on Instagram, who does this. He's in the UK. Alexis is here. And I've been taking this flower essence, and flowers have been exploding all around me. Everywhere I look, everywhere I go, outside, it's just a plethora and so much fun. So we're gonna have beautiful produce, a lot of love, and I will see you guys really soon. And get your greens on, lots of greens.